Four. Dun, 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 Fantastic Four.
Fuck this.
Yeah. What's up, people of the internet? My name is Hondro, and I'm here again with my good buddy Travis Thug Life Williams.
Why do you keep calling me that?
Because that's your name. And we're talking about Fantastic
Yeah.
Fantastic Four, the new one, 2015. Why it doesn't suck, in just my opinion. He totally disagrees, but my video, my opinion.
Yeah,
it doesn't suck.
I got America on my side. It's fun.
And we're talking about it.
America.
So I'll let you start with things you didn't like, and then I'll
chime in.
I'll chime in when you get to somewhere that I disagree with you.
Well, just started off. It didn't feel like anything like I've ever read about the Fantastic Four.
Good.
No, it's not good. You're basing basing a movie about.
Oh, we never started this.
You're basing a movie. Who cares? We're doing a video. We're basing a movie off of a comic book. It'd be nice to have something resembling those characters in there, except just calling them the Fantastic Four, which nobody does the entire fucking movie because they do that fucking cheap Avengers Assemble thing at the goddamn end. Sorry, I'm just really angry.
Bring it down. Bring it down a notch.
I'm just angry.
I don't understand why. The movie was good. It was a good film. But okay, your next thing. What else you got?
I just felt like after a certain point in the movie, probably right after they got their powers, the actors were phoning it in. I didn't believe them, but I feel like it's kind of hard for the thing to give you like an emotional response when it's just his voice.
Yeah, he's a big CG monster.
Yeah, he's not even there.
Well, there was probably someone mo-capping where his movements and stuff, but he was way bigger than the actual actor. So
right. I also did not like the storyline for the thing because, as bad as those other movies are, they gave a reason why Ben was there instead of him just being Reed's friend that just shows up.
There was a reason Ben was there.
No, he just showed. He
was Reed's friend. He shows up because Reed calls him.
Yeah, but like in the movie, he actually has a job. Like he's the pilot that
he has a job. He's got the flag, bro.
He has the.
He's gonna plant the flag.
He has this.
He helped Reed.
He
helped Reed create that teleporter.
He helped Reed with the parts, but
exactly.
He has this whole like. Okay, what's the most iconic line from the thing? It's clobbering time. He gets that because his brother beats the shit out of him.
And that was perfect.
That's not perfect. That's depressing. It's the Fantastic Four. It's supposed to be light, fun.
That was great.
That was not great.
That's good inspiration.
That is not good inspiration.
Parents, beat your children. They're terrible.
No, it's like saying
no. It was even funnier because his brother says it's clobbering time, and then his mom comes in. You hitting it? You hitting him again?
No, it's not funny.
That was hilarious.
That's child abuse.
I was laughing.
But I'm just saying, like
that's
like saying
that was good stuff.
That's like saying all parents should die because that creates Batman.
Wow, dude.
I'm just saying that's your reasoning right there.
Let's move on. Let's move on. What else?
I hated the way Doctor Doom looked.
Oh, he looked awesome.
Doctor Doom without his hood. He looked
cool.
Like the special ed cousin of the Vision. It was just pissing me off. Glowing green eyes. I wanted the goddamn armor, the freaking mask.
Doctor Doom looked tight.
Doctor Doom is supposed to be a badass. The only badass part about him was his fucking power.
Doctor Doom was badass.
His look looked dumb as hell.
No.
But that's just me. He's gonna say he likes it.
The look made sense, and I'll get into
I know it made sense, but it's not supposed to. It's a comic book movie. Right, they made it more like a sci-fi movie, which I kind of enjoyed for the first 15 minutes of the movie.
Yeah. What else you got?
Not enough action. There was one action scene.
I can agree with you on this point, and I kind of want to go into it further.
I just want this is going back to one of our other videos where we said the trailers lied. The trailers fucking lied. Yeah. They kept showing all these cool things with the thing.
This trailer didn't do what we said. Where it didn't spoil the movie. This trailer didn't spoil the movie.
Right. Yeah. Sorry. But it lied to you, saying, "Oh, hey, we're gonna drop the thing out of a freaking."
Movie trailers do that stuff a lot.
I know, but like it got me excited because the Thing is my favorite character of the Fantastic Four because I just like the fact that he fights the Hulk in the comics. But my problem is
I had trouble because you said the Thing is your favorite part about that. I was like, wait, is he saying the Thing about Fantastic Four? But because he's called the Thing.
Well, just whatever. But it just pisses me off. Like there was supposed to be so much more action in this movie, and they decided to go a different route with it, and it just felt like we're about to see him drop out of a plane, destroy stuff, but it's only like clips of this happening because there's this whole 1 year time span. But that's
well, the thing that was, I thought the action was fine. I just wanted it to start sooner because it takes a long time for the plot to develop to get to the point where they even have their powers. I didn't time it, but it seemed like
about 50 minutes.
It seemed like it was about like 45 minutes into the movie before they even get their powers.
Right.
And I feel like they could have done some sort of condensed version of it because they show Reed Richards as a kid when he's in like elementary school and he kind of becomes friends with Ben, and I don't feel like you really needed any of that stuff. Like you could have cut all that out of the movie. They could have, where I thought they should have started it was in the science fair. So you see it right there. You see Ben and Reed.
I can agree with that.
You see Ben and Reed as friends. You don't need to know much more about Ben's background. You could have made him more of like a scientist then. They could have started it right there in the science fair. They're lab partners. They built this thing together. That's all you need. That's all you would have needed to know.
I agree with that.
They built it together. They get recruited by that.
The Baxter Foundation.
By Baxter.
That's why they call it the Baxter Building.
Yeah, they get recruited by him. Go straight, and then it's more straight to the point instead of like the 20 minutes before that.
I liked it because
that would have cut like 20 minutes right off the movie. And you don't need You don't need like the first 20 minutes. Because everybody knows who these characters are already, and I understand it's an origin story, but you don't need the extreme setup that all these characters have.
What's the cool part about the Fantastic Four is they're supposed to be more of a sci-fi team instead of more of a comic booky team. I feel like that's what they were going for that first 50 minutes. Yeah. And I liked the part where they get their powers and it's kind of like a horror scene.
Well, hang on. We'll get to that. And the last thing we want to talk about that we didn't like is that the end seems very rushed.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden, Doom is the enemy and they got to stop him, and then the climax of the scene takes about 10 minutes and it's over.
And like what happened, like there was all this trouble where the Thing didn't even want to look at Reed and all like, oh hey, we're gonna work together now, man.
There was a lot. It just seemed like they really tried to wrap it up too quickly. There might have been scenes that they got rid of or changed or whatever, but it just seemed like the end, it just kind of they're like, okay, we got to do this now and get it over with, and it was just rushed.
God willing, we make money.
But now we'll get into the stuff that we liked. So I'll start this because I like the movie overall. I really don't understand why it's getting so much flack from critics. This movie does not deserve to be less
8% of Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, less than freaking Batman Forever or Batman and Robin. No, this movie is way better than Batman and Robin.
But it has bat nipples, Alex.
Yeah, that's part of what makes that movie terrible. And this movie doesn't have stuff like that.
Were you afraid?
So the the first thing I really like is the characters make sense. Most of them are pretty well thought out. So they get teleported to this alternate dimension. Dr. Doom basically gets ripped into the planet by some by like the entity that is the planet.
The Ooze from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
It's not the Ooze. Anyway, so Dr. Doom kind of gets like absorbed into the planet, and he looks like he gets killed, but obviously we know he doesn't die.
Right.
And then Johnny gets lit on fire before they can teleport back, so that's how he gets his powers.
And Ben's door opens up.
Ben can't keep it. His door's malfunctioning, and he's getting pummeled by rocks because like the cliff they're on is collapsing. They don't really explain how Reed or Sue get their powers. It just kind of happens. But they're 3 for 5, so we'll let them slide there. That's a better explanation than cosmic rays gives everybody different powers for no reason. It's a better explanation.
Biology, I'm guessing?
No, it's better.
But Sue wasn't even in the freaking dimension with him.
Yeah, I was kind of waiting for her to like teleport herself in somehow. That's what I was thinking too. But that doesn't matter. It made sense because they came back and the dimension was like it was like kind of collapsing on itself, and she got hit by the same stuff that everybody else got hit with, so it makes sense.
And like the whole place looked like a mangled mess, like
an
explosion happened.
Yeah,
and there was like horror because
that scene was really cool when they show the reveals. That was what you were getting into earlier. That was one of the coolest scenes in the movie for me because they come back and it's literally like a sci-fi horror scene.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Reed's mask is smashed and he's like crawling. He's pinned. His legs are pinned. The whole lab is destroyed. he's all like partially burnt and stuff. He sees Johnny's body just burning to it. Johnny's just like laid out on a desktop, just engulfed in flames. So he thinks he's dead. Ben's calling for help. He can't find him. There's a big pile of rocks, which half of it is actually Ben, but he doesn't know that at the time. And then he ends up blacking out because he turns around and he sees that his legs are like 12 feet long. Because his legs were pinned and he's trying to crawl to Ben, and he doesn't. He's like in shock still, and then he turns around, sees his legs are 12 feet long, and passes out. And then they cut to that lab, and they're experimenting on him and doing all that sorts of crazy stuff. So I was pleasantly surprised by that, because I expected them to get their powers in it for it to be really lame based on all these terrible reviews that the movie's getting, but it was actually pretty entertaining the way they get their powers and the way that they like come into their powers.
Well, there was also another okay thing for me was the clips they show of the Thing actually fighting.
Yeah.
When the Thing is actually fighting, he's fighting like ripping tanks off. It was kind of like watching the one scene from the Hulk, the Incredible Hulk movie.
Seeing the Hulk fight.
Yeah, like him fighting the army. It was kind of cool, and I wish they would have delved more into that, because they skipped a whole year, and this is what they've been having Ben do for the government, is dropping him in drop zones and taking out enemy insurgents.
Yeah, so it would have been nice to it was cool to see like the kind of like stock footage of Ben fighting stuff,
like
but
ripping tanks.
Yeah, it would have been it would have been cool to actually see it in the movie. The only scene we get to see him fight Reed, kind of.
Well, he like throws a punch and headbutts him. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, he kind of fights Reed in that one scene, and then he helps fight Victor at the end. So it would have been nice to see. It would have been nice overall to see more fight scenes. And Johnny, all he really does is just fly around, and he shoots a couple of drones. Sue just floats around. Like, they don't really do much in the terms of action. Like, the most action-packed scene is at the very end when they're actually fighting Doom.
Yeah.
And other than that, there isn't much action. So it would have, like, the action was cool, but it needed more of it.
Well, there's also, they didn't focus too much on the love triangle that's in the comics and the other movies between Sue, Doom, and Reed.
Yeah, it was obvious that that Doom was in love with Sue, but they didn't dwell on it. Other than that one scene where he calls him over and he's like, "Oh, you need to be. It doesn't look like you're doing any work."
Well, there's also the one, "I had a different future for us, Sue." Like at the end.
Well, that one I was okay with. The one that was a little seemed a little out of place. But overall, it was nice to see, because you see them, like, you see Sue and Reed getting along. So
you see them like connecting, but it was more of like a friendship instead
yeah,
of
you
love.
You see them getting along, and you can see how that would develop into something more. And then you can see how Victor's kind of, his personality kind of just pushes people away. He's just that kind of guy, especially in this movie. Yeah. But speaking of Doctor Doom, I thought Doctor Doom looked badass, because they explained they're all in these basically spacesuits when they go to the other dimension. And when Doom gets like ripped into the planet and he disappears, he had his full spacesuit on, and it basically like, it almost, when it hits him, it almost like burns it like acid.
Yeah, like more like.
Yeah, and so his spacesuit like melts to him.
Right.
And the whatever energy that was in that alternate universe kind of just combines with Doom, and they become one. So he's kind of like one with that planet, and it makes him like the scariest villain that I've seen in a long time.
See, he's scared of him.
No, he's not. Well, no, he was scary, dude. He was straight murdering people with his mind.
Yeah, but so's like Professor X can do that. Jean Grey did that to a bunch of different freaking mutants in X-Men: Last Stand, even though that movie was terrible.
Yeah,
but
that's scary, dude. That's scary, bro.
I thought it was cool.
He goes through that facility. People are shooting at him. The bullets aren't. He's got like a force field around him, and then he can just blow people up with his mind.
It was more like microwaving him, actually.
Yeah, he's like literally blowing people up and killing them.
I just thought he looked so silly that it was like, okay, that's kind of cute.
No, dude, he didn't look silly. It was practical. It was literally a melted suit onto his body mixed with the energy of that planet.
Where did he get the cloak?
Who cares?
It had fabric on that planet? I'm just kind of confused by that, too.
He's a scientist. He could have made it.
Well, he's crazy. And going...
He was left there for a year. He's going to make something.
That was his lover.
Yeah, he's going to make something. Who cares where he got the cloak? It doesn't matter.
It just seems weird. Like, you're on this planet, primordial planet. They don't have silk or fabrics or anything, but yet you found a cloak.
He made it. He synthesized it.
Oh, this movie.
Doesn't matter. It was badass. He was scary. He killed thousands of people in a matter of minutes at the end of the film. He's a badass villain.
Yeah.
And the events of the film make sense. That's one thing I really like, and one of the reasons I hated Jurassic World so much is that movie didn't make sense. None of the decisions in that movie that the characters were making made any sense. In this movie, everything that was happening made sense. The plot made sense. Reed Richards gets picked up by Baker, whatever he gets inducted by them. They build the dimensional thing. The scientists want to travel there first so they don't get screwed and sold out to like NASA or whatever, because they want to be the ones that make the discovery. So they go.
See, I kind of like that.
They try to explore. Shit hits the fan. They get messed up. The government intervenes and says, we're shutting this project down and taking it over. And these scientists that have gained these new powers, they're basically our property, and we're gonna use the guise of, oh, we can fix you guys to basically make them do what we want them to do. So that was all. And then at the end, when that gets turned around, it was a nice touch too. But we'll get into that in a little bit. And I did like the suits also. It threw me at first, but then I liked it. The suits that the government people make to help regulate specifically Sue and Johnny, because basically Johnny was just constantly on fire and Sue was constantly phasing in and out of visibility, basically uncontrollably. So they designed these suits that help calibrate it so that they can control their powers better. And then they have that year gap because Reed escapes, which we didn't really like, because it was like Reed wouldn't have left Ben
for a year.
He would have tried to help him, regardless of the alarms going on,
or how scared he was. Like I get you just went through this traumatic experience.
He would have an instinct to leave, but you'd still think in that moment, because Ben is right there.
That's
it's
his
like
best friend.
You can help him somehow. So, but the thing I liked about the year gap is it services the plot really well, because it gives everyone time to learn and control their powers.
Right.
Specifically Sue and Johnny.
Well, yeah.
Because the thing,
he just breaks
the
things.
thing can just kind of run around and punch stuff.
Okay, in the year, why did they give him pants? That was kind of throwing me off.
Who cares?
He was giving me.
He doesn't need pants. He didn't have a rock dick hanging down.
He might have.
I looked. I checked. There was no dick hanging.
Why are you looking for his dick, bro?
Because it was on screen. They showed him.
You poured a mouthful of
They showed him several times. I looked. It wasn't there. It's PG. He's smooth like a Ken doll down there. It's good. It's all good.
Smooth like a rock.
But and then it gave Victor plenty of time to go completely insane alone on that planet.
Right.
Because being isolated on a planet like that, you're sure as shit gonna lose your marbles.
And he
already hated those government officials for what they were trying to do to his project, and then being alone and like morphing with whatever energy was on that planet, whether it was like sentient or not, just drove him like batshit insane. So when they finally brought him back, all he wanted to do was completely destroy the Earth, and that was nothing scarier than that, dude. That's scarier than Ultron. Ultron was a pushover.
Yeah,
but Doom turns into a pushover too because of the rushed ending.
He dies.
Yeah, he dies. He straight up dies. Yeah,
like that's what I was surprised about the most. Is like, hey, they're not gonna milk this for 2 or 3 movies.
Yeah,
like they're planning on.
So that's kind of disappointing, because he was such a powerful villain, and the 4 of them are just kind of able. That's why I didn't like. That's another reason I didn't like the ending, because they're just kind of able to overpower him super quickly. But for the
we can work together.
For
guys.
the arc of the movie, it works really well, and the story makes sense. It's all integrated really well, and the plot points make sense. The characters' decisions make sense. Overall, it's a good film. I mean, is there anything else you did or didn't like about it?
Well, there's a couple other things. I thought like you brought it up, it was kind of neat to watch him use his powers to disguise his face. Reed.
Oh yeah. No, that was cool, because you kind of see it coming, because they're talking about Reed, and then it cuts to this scene in Cuba.
Well, no, it was like South Africa, I think they said.
Wherever he was.
Something like that.
Wherever he was, and he's disguised him. He's used his stretching abilities to actually morph the qualities of his face.
Well, it makes sense though, because like they haven't been able to find him for a freaking
year.
Yeah,
he can disguise himself, and that's one of the coolest powers ever.
Especially in this day and age,
that's
where
one of the coolest
you can
powers
use
ever.
Facial recognition software to look up people. I thought it was pretty neat.
And then it was Oh, what the scene the two scenes. There's two scenes right near the end that we both really liked. Well, I really liked both of them. The first one I liked a little bit more. It's the scene where after they defeated Doom and saved the Earth, basically they come back and the government's trying to work a deal with them. All right, well, you continue to work for us, and you know, we'll do right by you. And they basically sit there and they're like, "Nah, you know what? Suck our dick. We're gonna do whatever we want to do."
Or the thing's missing dick.
The science is gonna belong to us. We don't answer to you, and if you don't like it, talk to the thing. And that was cool. Like they basically just stood up and said,
"You can't
if you
take
don't,
this,
if
bro."
if you don't like it, well, try and stop us." So they end up getting their own lab, and then that follows into the scene where they're all where they're figuring out their
dynamic,
what they want to be called, and all that kind of stuff. And you get to see the more comic dynamic that we've known of these characters.
Well, yeah,
where Johnny's ripping on the thing. And Reed's kind of playing referee between those guys,
which is what I was missing from the entire film for me.
Yeah, so it was a nice nod to the comics at the end. Definitely not true to the characters in comic book form.
And that's why I feel like they shouldn't have. Like I would probably be more okay with this movie. It wasn't called Fantastic Four,
but it was the Fantastic Four.
But it doesn't feel like the Fantastic Four. It just
did feel like the Fantastic Four. You got Stretchy Man, you got Hulk Guy, you got
Hulk Guy,
Invisigirl, and you got
the flaming
the Flamer. You got the Human Flamer. It's perfect. That's all you need. And you got Dr. Boom Doomstick, Von Doom Boom.
This is my boomstick,
Hector Von Boom Doom.
But it just didn't feel like the Fantastic Four to me, because I'm a fan of the comics shows.
If you're a huge fan of the Fantastic Four,
this is going to piss you off a lot.
The movie strays far and away from
because they go more for the Ultimate Universe, which is not as loved by the fans as everybody else's.
See, I've never read a Fantastic Four comic book in my life, but I have seen the
other two
movies, and I have seen the cartoon from the 90s with that kickin' theme song.
Well, dude, did you get the McDonald's toy?
And that's why I think this movie was a success
for you,
because they did something different with the Fantastic Four. They took a step and they tried something new. Whereas I think the ones that came out in like the 2000s, the earlier 2000s,
yeah, they were
very like comic book comedy.
But you need to find that's my problem. You need to find that median.
I think this did not find that median. No, this was good.
Did not.
I think they could have cut the first 20 minutes out and then expanded
action.
Expanded the final fight scene and added more action, and I think you would have had a grade A movie.
I feel like people would probably been more accepting of it, but it just felt very dull at points to me.
Well, yeah, it was because it was slow. They added too much stuff with the government doing testing.
Well, and I feel like they're trying to
control. We're teaching them how to learn their powers. Like,
well,
you can say one year later they've learned their powers. Okay, great, we get it. Now go use them. That's what we want. That's what you want to see in this movie.
You didn't want a power training montage.
We got a taste of it, but overall, this movie does not deserve the hate it's been getting. Does not at all, in my opinion. I think it was a good movie. Way better than Jurassic World.
I'll give you that.
Way better than that piece of garbage. It's deserving of one thumb up. It's gonna be another one of these. One thumb to the side, one thumb up.
Yeah.
You liked Jurassic World.
Well, I've seen it again, and I get what the points you pointed out.
Yeah, no kidding.
But this
I
saw this, and it still pisses me off.
Well, it pisses you off. You were pissed going into it.
Yeah, I was a little pissed.
Yeah.
I didn't read any of the reviews. I saw the score on Rotten Tomatoes.
I didn't read any reviews. I didn't watch anything except for whatever. Maybe 2 trailers. I didn't read any reviews. I didn't watch any reviews. But I went in there expecting to see a crappy movie, and the movie was not crap.
I still think it's crap.
The movie was not crap.
I kind of want to see what Josh Trank's original version of this movie would have been.
Who cares?
I care.
It's too late.
I care because
the movie exists.
Yeah, no, but this isn't his movie.
The movie exists.
It's the same, like the Daredevil. The director's cut of Daredevil is way better than the actual piece of crap that we got.
Never seen Daredevil. Don't care to. Ben Affleck's a terrible actor.
He's your Batman.
He's not my Batman. He's yet to prove it that he's that he's anyone's Batman.
This is true.
Yeah, except for maybe whoever Zack Snyder, or no, who directed
Zack Snyder.
Yeah, he's the only one that's directed him. I guess the guy that did Suicide Squad directed him, and I've seen her too also, but whatever.
Beside the point.
We're getting off topic.
Okay, can I just say one more thing? I kind of miss Stan Lee.
Why?
I don't know. I just like Stan Lee showing up in things.
This is 21st century or 20th century.
Yeah, he shows
Fox.
in those movies. He's in Deadpool.
Whatever. Who cares?
I care.
Movie didn't suck. Review over. Thanks, guys.
Sucked.
Oh, hey, don't forget to follow us on Twitter. And, yeah, we'll catch you in the next one. Hey, let us know in the comments below if there's any movies specifically that you want us to review next time.
What is the next one we're doing, actually?
I don't know. Whatever.
Ooh, Guy Ritchie. Man from U.N.C.L.E.
I mean, we'll do that. It's going to be good.
I think it's next week.
Whatever. Anyway, let us know in the comments if you got anything specific that you want us to review. And we will see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.
Oh, God. Take care.